Everything that I'm going to read tonight has an element of truth in it, and then some of it gets some poetic license. A Southern California Girl Scout luncheon, spring 1965. All of us on the sunny bus in pressed Loden green dresses, merit badge sashes, yellow looped bow ties, white gloves. Your best posture and be polite, our scout leader said. Be prepared for different food. Colored greens, I thought she said. Black-eyed peas, lesser cuts of meat. Across the dry brown town, we bussed to Watts. Their troop, our troop, sat separate at twin church basement tables. We, all of us, picked at cucumber sandwiches, egg salad stuffed celery, lemon angel icebox cake, beige food they thought Reseda girls would like. We, all of us, filled up on Welch's grape juice instead. Such a fun game we made of sticking out our stained tongues everywhere you looked. Purple, purple, purple. To support myself, I aspired to be a world-class waitress. I realized when I was writing this poem that this is where the dream died. German waitress at Manhattan Banquet House, 1977. A fixture at the banquet house for 30 years, Lorelei had fled her gutted fatherland by steamship from Manhattan, island of victors. I trailed her to learn tricks of the banquet waitress trade, a job routinely understaffed to maximize tips. She was a blur in a hurry, her calves rock hard from walking 8 miles a shift, her strawberry blonde hair in pin curls she'd unclip after the setup work, the eyebrows she drew on, bravely thick. A daringly Aryan-looking serving girl, she bragged about her superior complexion, like peaches blushing in a kuchen. She taught, by casually curt example, how to measure up, to be banquet material. You had to be fearsome, but still fetching, hauling feasts on trays in crowds. You had to be light on your feet, parry the demanding, the famished, the lecherous, and toss it off with a quick wit. You'll get your floor show when I'm good and ready. Impervious to insult, she offered the other cheek. Get them fed and be quick about it. She liked to drill me under her breath, 2 winks and a dismissive swivel. It made for extra work to play hard to get. But look at her go, making the businessmen snap to and chuckle up in banquet rooms reserved for meetings, and there'd be Lorelei, feigning to sit on their laps, make their napkins rise, spurning and inviting, feeding off the teas. These men she'd expended her entire American life on, waiting, nothing but a serving wench to these merchants of Manhattan, whistling, then tapping their watches, snapping fingers for service. Then she'd load her arms with their dirty looks, balancing plates and monkey dishes, slippery with horseradish sauce, piled high with Long Island porgy bones, lobster carcasses, and pate studded with cigar butts. And one time in the pantry, we're sorting sweet and lows and sugar cubes in silver bowls she'd shined to mirrors with her spit. Her usual smooth face splotched red, She started exploding in German consonants, savage enough to strafe a whole tray of cream puffs. This poem takes place at the Santa Monica Library. Harry Shearer used to say on Ruscio, used to say, Santa Monica, home of the homeless. Escaping time, drenched in time. In time, you hear a song only once in your life. To hang on to it, lodge it in your long term, swinging on a single summer, notes, stopping your clock. In this way, it will wait, the past, ahead for you. Once you check out from the library where the homeless homestead, flavors of Aleppo, their grand city square, pulverized. But you will brew their strong coffee, brought to a fierce boil. And nearby, on the same shelf, in memory's kitchen, a smuggled heirloom of recipes handwritten in faintest pencil, starving women dictate in whispers how many decagrams of softened chocolate, liters of cream, spoons of fresh spring. Once, your arms full of future, you come upon a sour-smelling transient and hand off your Hershey's Kisses, all three. Chocolate! He sings a little. A boy again, a grimy song grin. My friend Roxanne lived in Turkey for years and years, decades, with her husband until he passed away. And she came to Thanksgiving one year, and she told our fortune by making us coffee and reading the cups. After Thanksgiving, Roxanne reads the cups. Turkish coffee has a very fine grind. It will leave distinct patterns in your cup, like shadows rounded up against the wall. After greedy sips, the word Bosphorus in your mouth. Stir, make a wish, wait. It's all you can do to keep it to yourself. Cover the top of your cup with the saucer, like a hand over a mouth. If you can pierce the dark, as 5 o'clock feels in late November, shake the cup and flip it on its fine china head. Your fortune depends on it. And it bears repeating. We are grateful. Roxanne begins the reading at the handle, a good detective. She's mum, working clockwise around the cup, counter to the fashion for random chatter. She roots out the frivolous, takes note of shapes, forms impressions. Grateful, for we've eaten pounds of butter. And if you can penetrate one person's struggle after the big meal, walking the burned neighborhoods, you will come to love them and their smell of charcoal fused with lavender fabuloso. And I'm going to close with this poem. As much the hours as the crosses. Tonight, waiting at a long red light, I watch a man on the median fold in half his broke plus anything will help cardboard sign and shove it down the back of his loose jeans, a grimy brace which pulls his shoulders militarily to attention, picks up his chin. Later, that nightmare where my legs don't work. and the one where Giacometti thin neighbors come out onto their front stoops and puff up like sails. Their cotton lawn shirts have Peter Pan collars, the rounded collars of my home ec final. A girl I knew sewed through her index finger just to get out of redoing her French seams. In the morning, Dad will call, sounding far off as if a spaceship took him in his sleep and he's only just been beamed back to bed. Glad to see the sun come up, he'll say. Here's your mother. In the sweltering afternoon, making sherbet with my niece from You Pick Bing cherries. First batch cooks up tasting like the pan, the long simmered Christmas cassoulet, and instantly, and once again, the air thickens. The roar of that winter when the skies opened up like punishment. Hard rain fogging up all the windows in low winter light, an aquarium of drowned sound. Then the expectant appetites of the last guests, my dead, hungering still to be caught up in any old jubilation, cheering the possibility the house slides off its foundation, making this kitchen an island we never leave, and none of us, not even this poem, ends.
Wonderful piece.